Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dominic Sicali. We're back with Mafia Roundtable with more live talk. Everybody, I want to thank everybody for all the support. Greatly appreciated. And we're exceeding the subscriber number. I mean, I can't, if I say what it is now, by next week it'll be something totally different. Hopefully. But we are moving at a rapid pace. Thank you for all the views, all the likes, the comments. Love it. Keep it coming in. Also, I like to honor our sponsorship from EG Vodka. Go to egvodka.com. It is 100% organic vodka. First vodka, I wish I had it back in the day. Drink it, I get zero headache myself. And we also have Champagne D-Rock. We're licensed. We're the only company that actually EG Vodka is the only company in the USA to import Champagne de Rock out of France. With that, hope everybody likes it. Today, our host Jason will ask the questions, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. Go ahead, Jason.
All right, Dom, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good, good, good. So we're talking a little bit today about Season 1, Episode 2, Elephant in the Room.
Okay.
That was a great episode. You had an opportunity to sort of confront some of the questions that were coming out and put the cards on the table. Were you happy, and what was the driving fact for you to do that episode right in the beginning of the podcast in Episode 2?
In my entire life, I always face things head on. I never play games. Mm-hmm. Well, I play a lot of games, but as far as being serious, I don't play games. I don't hide from anything. I don't run from anything. And got, I think, a few nasty comments. So I figured let's address everything, put it up. And if I recall correctly in that episode, told everybody, I make no excuses for what I did. Mm-hmm. I don't have to say it was because of my boss wearing a wire, my other boss talking about murders that he should never be talking about. The crime family screwing me over close to $10 million within the first year of my incarceration. I wasn't even convicted of a crime at that time. Just showing that there was no loyalty. Mm-hmm. So I felt this needs to be addressed. Even though I could use 20 different excuses why I cooperated, at the end of the day, I took the easy way out, took the coward's way out, and I'll keep it real. And I did what I had to do. And that was the hardest decision I ever had to make in my life. I made that decision, and I'm a happier person that I did today, especially the way today's Mafia turned out. I mean, to me, you have all the old timers, from what I see, they're just tucked in. And all the guys out there, like the Michael Noses of the world, just destroyed the life because they don't know the life.
It's a different time.
It's a different time, different era, different day. And that's why it'll be coming out soon. What I created, the New Age Mafia, the Sicali Family Inc. And I took what the Mafia is supposed to be and created a legal entity with it. And our organization's massive. Mm-hmm. When I tell you massive, we have a lot of tremendous money guys, earners, former people in the life. And our number one rule, no criminal activity. So stay tuned for that one.
Love it.
That'll
Lots
be
to come on that.
That'll be a good one.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of questions came out of that. Again, you get a lot of comments on your podcast, and you do a great job at responding to them all.
Well, thank you.
I know it's a lot of work, and I'm sure the fans appreciate it. But a lot of questions come out of there, so we're going to pull some questions in and some other questions that have come up just really about that episode. So we're trying to focus on that. So you talk about a lot of different things, and then some questions have come out that aren't specifically about, the elephant in the room, but more so about some of the comments that were made by you during that video. So one of the questions came up: how many people were part of a hit team, and how was that determined? Was it different based on the type of hit? And I'm sure there's got to be a lot of variations to that, but people want to know, how does that all come about?
It's setting something up, putting things, I would say, in the process of putting a hit together. So certain hits are different. It depends where you're going to hit the person, how you're going to do it, who's going to be involved. Some hits you need many people. Other hits, you don't need many people. And as I talk about certain hits that I was involved in, that I ordered from my orders to follow through with certain things. Sometimes we felt it's easy to do a hit with 2 or 3 people as opposed to 5 or 6. Just simplicity. If you could walk somebody into a place or an area, location, it's easy. Anybody could pull a trigger. It's not difficult. The real gangster is the one that'll shoot it out with you in the street, who'll fight with you in the street. You know, any dummy, myself included, could pull a trigger and put a bullet in the back of somebody's head. That's not difficult to do. But the planning process and setting everything up, that's the difficult part. That's where the brains come in, literally.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense. So another question, you speak about the Dejin. How did it simplified, what is that? What does that mean?
That's your crew. That's a captain has a Dejin. It's a group of, it's supposed to be 12 guys, a dozen.
Is that created uniquely for the life and the Mafia, or is that a term that would be used in other areas that it's been adopted by?
I don't know other areas. I know it was used for the Mafia term when a captain has a crew. It's their Dejin.
Okay.
And it's a group of 12 men. In my Dejin, I had at one time, I want to say anywhere from 24 to 25 made members. I was loaded up. I inherited Vinny's crew, which Vinny had most of the power in the family, and we had the money guys. So we had me inheriting that, I had a tremendous responsibility on my shoulders. So basically, I was on call 24/7. There was times some things would happen. I would page guys, go out to a payphone at 3 a.m. By 4:30, guys would be at my house, or at a meet up location, because things happen. So, you know, you're on call. You have to be on top of it. Especially myself. Whenever I do something, I'm 100%, 110% into it.
Yep.
Give my all. That's why I rose so quickly through the ranks in the crime family.
Right. That's interesting. So one of the things you talk about in the episode is that no one twisted your arm to become part of the life. But at the same time, you say that you were sort of almost groomed as a child a little bit. So do you really feel like you had a way to turn away from the life, or do you feel like that path was already sort of made for you?
Everybody has a choice. Everybody could always veer off their path in life, which I did. Originally, I was into sports. I wasn't part of the streets. My grandparents basically raised me with my mother, and they were working people. My grandmother worked in a factory. My grandfather worked for the city of New York highways. And, you know, I chose the streets. But going down that path, again, I was being groomed, not even realizing it. So I was naive. But I choose the life at the end of the day. Again, nobody twisted my arm. Even Vinny. I didn't want to be straightened out. I didn't need it. Because I felt, what do I need a title for? Or to say I'm made? I'm a man. I don't care if a boss of a crime family, they raised their hands to me or they said something, I'm going at them. Because I'm a man. I'm going to protect my manhood. Now, don't get me wrong. If I did something to deserve it, I would respect it and keep my mouth shut. But I'm not going to be abused or punked by anybody, no matter if I was an associate, if I was a soldier, and they were higher ranking than me, or even at associate status. I mean, I went at made members. I went at captains. I chased the captain around the car because he made an innuendo I was a rat. And you're not going to say anything like that, because you know what? If I didn't do that...
that was before the time, too.
That was before I was made. And if I didn't act... So I must be a rat.
Right.
But you have 90% of the guys out there would say, well, he said that and that's fucked up because I'm not a rat, but I'm not going to do anything because he's a captain. No, fuck that. I'm a gangster.
Yeah.
I'm a thug. Whichever way you want to call it.
From the streets.
I'm from the streets. I built my reputation. You're not going to put a label on me.
No.
So you're going to open up your mouth, you better back it. And that's the way I conducted myself. And really, a lot of old timers, they like that. Even if I would have caught him and beat the shit out of him, we go to a sit down. What's a boss going to say? Yeah, but listen, they're going to look to kill me quick, But when I present it to a boss, like, how is this guy going to take my manhood or put a tarnish on my name? I just came home from jail for doing 10 years for a crime I didn't commit. So really, I'm doing
respect.
all this, and somebody's going to tarnish my name because they want to be reckless with their mouth? It's not going to happen. So people do respect that, even though they're not going to outwardly say it, like a boss would not outwardly say it, because you're taken away from nobody's supposed to put their hands on a made guy. However, there's always repercussions in life. And I always held my ground, did what I had to do. When I was wrong, I would admit I'm wrong. Or I'd back up. I wouldn't be aggressive. So there's a time and place for everything. And I just always conducted myself on a different level.
Speaking of time and place, so have you ever had scenarios where, now or in the years after you did your time, where you've, accidentally run into someone from the life? Or cross the paths on the street.
When now?
Now.
That I cooperated.
Since after that fact.
After what fact? That I cooperated?
After then, yeah. Have you ever come into a situation where you've crossed paths at a restaurant?
Actually, I did meet a few people. They were street guys where I live. And I really, one person I didn't even recognize. He's like, Dom, it's me. You remember me from the body shop? And I'm not going to mention his name because he's from the streets. And I don't know what gangs he's still affiliated with. But he's like, oh, how have you been? First words out of his mouth, they did you fucking dirty. I don't blame you.
Right off the top.
Yeah, my mother still sees people in the neighborhood, and everybody sends their love from my mother, tell me he did the right thing, getting out of life. Everybody knows I was always fair on the I felt I was fair on the street. I felt I gave everybody a shot. I was very generous. Somebody would come to me for anything. 90% of the time I'm helping people out. Yeah. And then you see your true friends when you go away that you're locked up. They're far few in between. I had none of them when I got. Well, I can't say none of them. The kid Anthony Daz, who just got convicted for killing his father, which is a shame. That's another story, another podcast. Sally Daz, sad story, great family. This kid had my back 1,000%, looked out for my family while I was away before I cooperated. And I didn't expect it from this kid. My friends, my brothers, the maid guys, they robbed me. Instead of doing what this kid was supposed to do, they never did that. So, everybody, the life is just all smoke and mirrors from what I've seen, my experiences. And it's sad. It's sad because it could be something good. It's a powerful organization, was a powerful organization, especially when everybody gets together and utilizes everybody's resources for financial rewards, gains, to get away from the illegal criminal activity. There's a lot of legitimate businesses.
And that's like a lot of legitimate business too. They work with who they know and help build each other. So
yes, but
the concept.
But legitimate businesses, technical legit, they don't kill their members.
That's
so
right.
That's the difference.
Yeah, you might get fired.
So yeah, exactly. You're not getting
kicked off the
executed.
board. That's about it, right? When you were in prison, when you were in jail, and during that path, and in the episode you speak a bit about it, but were you at any point working on, and I'm sure you were, but working on yourself? And was there sort of, a time where you were starting to change your thoughts? Do you have a recognizable time or period where you started taking that change in direction?
I think every prison stint I did, which was 3 of them, total, each one I think I evolved. I became a better person, more understanding about doing things the right way. I had the mindset of a criminal every time I came home that never left my persona, who I was. The only time it left was this time when I did decide to cooperate. And that'll be another podcast where I had to deal with my demons inside before I got myself straight. But I did turn my life around when I came home this time. But the other times, I felt I've always evolved. I said I'll do things differently, and I did. But at the end of the day, I was still a thug, still a criminal. If there was a way to make money, I would I would look to make the money. But I started getting involved in legitimate businesses as well.
Well, it makes sense. You know, you're part of a certain life for a certain amount, like a long amount of time. You're naturally going to kind of go back to that a little bit, and then as you evolve, you're able to change.
Yeah, I always reverted back to the criminal history. This is the only time in my life, and it's funny because it was the first Thanksgiving I was out back in 2013 when I was released, and I already cooperated. And we're at my house. My family members are down, and a female cousin who I'm real close with passed a comment to one of my family members. When I say one of my family members, my immediate family. Oh, he'll be back in jail. He'll never change. I could see it. Give him 3 years. So, right, I felt that to be like really like, wow. We were like brother and sister.
Where's the support?
And that's the way you feel. So you want to see my demise, not my growth as a person, as a man. Especially after cooperating. Like, I look at it. If I ever did anything illegal now, I got to be the biggest fool on this planet. Not saying things don't happen in life. I can never say what's going to happen, but I'm a lot more in control of staying focused, that legitimate, not doing. There's too much money out there in the legitimate world, and I was told that by Greg Andres. He was my sponsor, federal prosecutor, the prosecutor that Joe Massino set out to put the word out to kill. And when I sat down with Greg and we went over everything, he's like, Dom, why'd you need the life? You had so many things going legit. So, until this day, I look back at words that were told to me, and I hold everything close to my chest, hold them dear. And that's one of them where I'm not going to do anything illegal. I'm not going to get involved in drug dealing or scams. To me, it's just, there's too much money out there in legitimate businesses. Like with the vodka company, the champagne company. Even though they were our sponsor, I'm a part owner of the company. So, and this is over 10 years since I've been home. I have that. We have medical supplies.
You built up too to get there.
I built everything up from scratch with the support of my wife. She had my back. She opened up whatever fund she had to me to get on my feet. With her job, she took care of the household bills, while it enabled me to go out there and do what I do best. Hustle in the legitimate world with construction, plumbing, underground, from A to Z. T-shirt company, concerts we did, entertainment company, medical supplies worldwide, water projects. And
you got to grind.
Listen,
got to hustle and
love
grind,
it.
but you can keep it on the straight and narrow.
I love it. That's my hustles, my legitimate hustle. I'll always do it. I'm up every morning. Now I get out of bed at 2 a.m. because of the podcast, all the questions. I answer every comment, which I enjoy. And by 5, 6 o'clock at night, like an old man, I'm getting tired. I'm starting to doze off. And then I'll get shit from my wife like, hey, you don't have time for me. And there's some nights I'm just too exhausted, but some nights I'll stay up. I'll take an energy drink just to get those few hours. Or have a shot of EG vodka, and I'm ready to go.
Ready to go.
Start feeling that buzz. Come on, let's go, honey. Let's rip and raw.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That was a great episode. I mean, there's a lot of questions came out of it. I think one of the questions that sort of made me think about the situation is, what do you think out of your viewers and the popularity of the show and the really rapid growth we're getting here? What do you think? Do you think the either side of the coin, like from the law side, the prosecutor side, to the people in the life? Do you think you have people that are viewing your show?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. I'm actually humbled and impressed by so many. I think it was you. I asked you to look up the analytics, and we were almost at a 99% positive rate. I'm like, wow, I was blown away. And I knew coming into this genre, especially from being in the Bronx, my neighborhood's a tight-knit neighborhood. Probably, and again, I said this before, I'll say it now, I think I'm the only high-ranking Mafia member that ratted in my neighborhood. My neighborhood's still tight, a lot of support in that community for Mafia, and it's a stronghold. And yet, I thought I would definitely be getting a lot of negativity, a lot of comments. I'll take them on, I deserve it. But no, I'm getting a lot of positive support, people sticking up for me. I'm like, thank you guys, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. People even pass comments. I know you're probably going to block me or not show this comment. That's not Dominic Sicali. I would never do that to anybody. I respect. If I don't like what you say, and I think it's stupid, which a lot of them are, they make no sense, I'll throw up emoji, like yelling, ah!
Now your secret's out.
Yeah, well, I throw up my emojis. But there's questions. And you know what? And there's one, and I'm going to do a topic on this guy. I forgot his name. But he said, Dom, I don't believe what you did. I'm against ratting. I don't care for what you did. But he was getting on me respectfully. And I even told him, well said, thank you. And at the end of his comment, he said, but I got to tell you, I agree with the way you worded everything, the way you came at it. I agree with what you said. And I think the topic was with A. Bruno.
Right.
And the guy basically told me, I'm into life. However, I don't agree. I don't like what you did. But I like your answers. The way you answered everything, I have to give you. I agree with that. Comments like that I accept. Even when people call me a rat and they say why, as long as it's well said and not just nonsense, I'll respond back. Thank you for your thoughts. I appreciate your opinion. You're entitled. You're right. I ratted. Took the coward way out. I have no excuse for that. Never will have an excuse. But I embrace it. I like it because it keeps me grounded at the end of the day too. Keeps me focused. And I do want my past. I want it brought to me all the time. Because if I forget about my past, I'll fail. By me not forgetting about the past, I'll never fail because I'm not going to duplicate what I did in my past.
Not make those same mistakes.
Exactly. So
I think it was really good timing and the right move to put out Elephant in the Room season 1 episode 2 right away and address a lot of these things that we knew would be coming up. And I think you handled that really well.
Well,
so
thank you.
Great job on that episode.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate it.
Thanks for answering our questions.
No, you're welcome. Again, everybody, thank you for your comments. Please let them pour in. And we're going to change these topics up constantly. I get a lot of comments about Sammy the Bull Gravano, who is a very good friend of mine. Michael Franchise, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but I'll get Franchise. I'll get it right eventually, and I apologize for that. But they are the leading platforms in this genre. And I'm going to do things the way I feel is right. I'm going to put out my content the way I'd like to put it out. I want to be different. I'm not going to be another prototype of theirs or anybody else's. I respect them, 2 great guys, and I know I could learn a lot from both of them. So stay tuned because we have stuff coming out with that as well. But everybody, again, please go on the egvodka.com. You could order the vodka. It'll be sent or drop shipped to you. Also, Champagne de Rock will be available as well. Want to thank everybody again. Please hit that subscribe button, the like button, and everyone have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Much love. Peace out.